MrBeast is only 23 years old, but he is making close to $50 million a year on YouTube. In this video, I want to break down what you can actually learn from MrBeast about starting and growing a huge 8-figure company. Let's go. If you're new here, my name is Noah Kagan. I am the founder of AppSumo.com. I was number 30 at Facebook and number 4 at Mint.com. If you're an entrepreneur, a side hustler, or you've been wanting to be one, make sure to subscribe to the channel so I can help you on your business journey. So I'm going to break down the business lessons from MrBeast in 3 categories. Number 1, starting a business. Number 2, scaling that business. And number 3, doing growth marketing like MrBeast. Part 1, startup lessons from MrBeast. So number 1, have one goal that drives everything else. Now, if you've watched any of the interviews with MrBeast, you know what his number 1 goal is. Being the biggest YouTuber ever.
I just want to be the biggest YouTuber in the world in 10 years.
I want to be the best at YouTube.
And what's beautiful about his approach that we can all learn from is every decision he makes is filtered through the lens of, does this move me closer to making the best videos in the world? So here's some examples. Should I hire more people? Does this move me closer to making the best videos in the world? Yes, so hire more people. Should I spend even more money in making a video? Does this move me closer to making the best videos in the world? Yes, so spend a lot more money. So why is it so important to focus on one goal and really double down or 10x down like MrBeast has been doing in his videos? Clarity. Next up, consistency. Let's take a quick look at when MrBeast started to upload videos. So what's crazy about if you look at MrBeast, he started uploading 9 years ago. And a lot of these videos, 1 minute 30, 3 minutes, and yeah, they have a lot of views now, but that's because the channel has gotten so much bigger. But it's him playing just kind of video games with Minecraft and Pokemon and other kind of things like that. 3 years in, he was actually only at 2,000 subscribers. Now, ask yourself this, if you were doing YouTube or if you're starting a software business or a restaurant or a service business, after 3 years, you almost have nothing to show for it. Would you keep going? You gotta give the guy a lot of respect and any of these entrepreneurs who've been able to stick with something for a very long period of time. Next up, number 3, if you don't have a business idea, build an audience and then create the product. So I think this is an interesting approach from MrBeast where he didn't open up Beast Burger, and we have a video on the channel where we tried out Beast Burger until he had almost 50 million subscribers. Now before that, he was making mostly money from brand deals and YouTube ads. And I'm not telling you to wait until you have 50 million subscribers because there's only very few people that have that to start a business. But the lesson here is, let's say you don't have the magical business idea. You could start building your audience. Maybe it's on YouTube or TikTok or email, and then find out what kind of product that audience actually would want as you have an audience. It makes it a lot easier versus having a product and be like, does anyone want this? Now pick any platform you like. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's audio, maybe it's video, whatever that is, it doesn't matter. Now commit to the law of 100. So the law of 100 is you're gonna do 100 pieces or 100 days. Now, don't worry about the size of your audience. Just find something that you can do for the next 100 days. And after that, you will have probably at least 100 people in your audience, and you can ask them, what do they want to buy from you? Part dose, how to scale like MrBeast. This section's good. First off, reinvest all of your profits into your business. Now, since the first dollar that MrBeast made from his YouTube business, he's reinvested every single penny back into making amazing videos.
Literally from the time I was 12 till now, I've just reinvested everything I made, and things just literally got crazier and crazier and crazier, and the views just kept going up. Like, if you just literally look at the first video, so it's just a slow progression.
Think about this for yourself. If you started making buku money and you're like, do I want to enjoy all the perks of it now or later? So I gotta give a lot of respect to us. And so in his first video, MrBeast got sponsored. Quid paid him $10,000. Now most of us would be like, $10,000. I'm thinking Burger King, I'm thinking Whopper, I'm thinking In-N-Out. But what did he do with the money? He gave it away to a homeless guy in a video. And it worked. That video got close to 10 million views. I watched it for the first time today. Yeah, it's a damn good video. And he kept doing it. He found something that worked and he kept doing more of it, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Now in his videos, he's giving over $1 million away in some of his videos. So one of the quotes that I love thinking about that Reed, who's MrBeast's manager, told me one day was that a lot of people work really hard to get the Ferrari. Jimmy works really hard so he can give the Ferrari away and then later own the car dealership. And I thought that was like a really powerful kind of like story or way of thinking about it that is a really great approach to business. He's not just giving away all the money though. He's actually investing in his office space. He's investing in a $10 million new studio. That's big time. I also think one of the things that we're kind of not calling out here is how big he's thinking, right? You're living this one experience on planet Earth, me and you are here, and we can all think just as big as this. Now the question is, how big are we all individually thinking? So whatever you're working on or thinking of working on, maybe just think, man, how much bigger can that actually be? And really just start exploring going after that. I'm gonna do that myself. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, ding, because I will be posting weekly subscriber-only content such as link to my office hours, behind the scenes of things that are going on in my business, as well as freebies and goodies for subscribers only. So if you don't want to miss out, you need to make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell, ding, so YouTube will make sure you get notified every single time. I love you, and I'll see you out there. Next up, big goals require a big team. So in order to reach his goal of being the #1 YouTuber on the platform, Jimmy realized he couldn't do it alone. So as he started making more money, he kept hiring people. And today his team is over 50 people. What a lot of people that start out businesses or they grow the business, like, I'm gonna do everything myself. There's kind of a reason a lot of these companies have a lot of people. You need that as you wanna grow your company. I'm not saying to just go throw people in your business, but especially if you're just getting started out, I would highly recommend, how do you hire one person to start saving you time? And that could be all across the order. If you're a YouTuber, maybe it's helping someone write your scripts or do your thumbnails. If you're a software creator, maybe it's someone in customer support. What I recommend you doing is use a site like Fiverr or TopTel or Upwork, or ask your friends or network. Really just start hiring people, and it's an amazing practice and skill that's how you will start scaling out any of your businesses. Part trace. First off, one of the things I've said over and over and over, the easiest way to do great marketing is having an amazing product. He makes awesome videos at the end of the day. So the marketing stuff is a hell of a lot easier. And I know a lot of y'all have asked me, like, man, how do I market my product? Someone asked me today, how do I market my new crypto wallet? And I was like, what's the problem? Who is it for? And where's your customer? And at the end of the day, if they made an amazing crypto wallet, guess what? All that marketing stuff is trivial. So really be aware of that as you're working on your business. 50% of your product is packaging. So let's actually check out MrBeast's recent thumbnails. What I heard from someone who works with him is per thumbnail, he is spending $10,000. He's not just grabbing a stock image or throwing some text on it. Like, he has a guy in an FBI uniform taking a photo, or it's him and a bunch of money. That's probably him literally in a bunch of money, even though ours is photoshopped. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's not random. They're having a ton of ideas, they're really picking the best one, and they're spending a shit ton of money and time to really dial in this packaging. But it's something just to be mindful of, is that if you've worked so hard on creating a great book, but your title and the cover of your book looks like crap, it's kind of just doing yourself a disservice. And at the end of the day, most people on Netflix, on YouTube, when they buy books, they're looking at title, thumbnail, and they're making a quick decision. Is this something they really want? So how do you spend more time on those snap judgments that people are really judging you by? Number 3, when you find a growth formula that works, 10x, 50x, 100x this thing. So as we saw earlier, MrBeast started out making videos about him playing video games. And then he tried a bunch of other video formats out, videos about other YouTubers, until he ended up giving away money to the homeless guy, and that blew up. Now, this is happening in all of your businesses. You're doing something, maybe it's a service, and you're doing a bunch of different like freelancing services, and there's one that people are like, yo, I really like that one a lot, I'll pay you whatever you want. Now, same for him is when he gave away that money in one of the videos, he's like, oh, this giving away or spending a lot of money is really getting me a lot of attention. And if you look at his channel, first to rob a bank, 500,000 giveaway, 500,000 leave a circle. If you can carry $1 million, you can keep it. Quitting people offering people 100,000 quit their job. It's literally every single video now. And that is something that we're trying to do on our own YouTube channel, and we do it as well at appsumo.com, which is what are the type of products our Sumolings, aka our customers, like. Now let's try to make sure a lot of our products really fit our customer base. If you find a format of your YouTube content that's working, maybe it's giving away money. Or for us on this channel, we were doing videos about MrBeast and that did well. Guess what? That's why we're doing another MrBeast video. So really be mindful of something that's working in your business. Go to the edge of how much more you can do of it. And the question you might be thinking is, what's the edge? The edge is when it's not profitable anymore. Meaning, if you're doing 5 blog posts a day and it's not bringing you customers or it's costing you too much, then just pull it back to where that was. But I can promise you in every single one of your businesses, there is something that's worked in the past that you can still do a lot more of that you're not. Next up, be obsessed with data. And I think people say this crap, but do they actually live by it is a whole nother story.
A lot of people blame the algorithm, but typically you can just look at the data and point to it. I mean, I don't really have to dig too deep into that one.
Now, MrBeast is actually obsessed with data. And in fact, he's hired a bunch of people who get paid just to look at his analytics all day and come up with the right insights of how to make videos 1% better. Now, in a lot of technical companies and startups and big ass companies, there's companies like Domo and Adobe and all these businesses, and it's called business intelligence. And it's a huge multi-billion-dollar industry for tech companies. And the fact that he's bringing it into the content creation world is giving him a huge significant advantage. So in your own business, and especially, let's just say if you're a YouTube creator, do you know your click-through rate? Do you know your AVD rate? That's just the beginning. If you're thinking, how do I use my data effectively? Pick 3 KPIs. And I have gone through having hundreds of KPIs we're looking at, and I've looked at no KPIs, and I will tell you, if you have 3 and they're active levers, meaning you could dial them up and down, right? And you're looking at them on a weekly basis, that is how you will make the change to accomplish your goals in your company. And lastly, reverse engineering the perfect PR marketing stunt. Now, when MrBeast launched Beast Burger, he didn't do a million different marketing activities to get people to buy his burger. All he did was throw one big PR event where he gave away tens of thousands of his burgers for free. And I got it, not bad. He also gave away some cash to people with their free burger. The results of his MrBeast Burger was the 5th most searched term on Google. Yes, the giant ass website on December 19th with over 1 million searches, and he got over 1 million downloads of MrBeast Burger app within the first couple days. I think the other thing with PR events and stunts is do something that fits your brand, but I would try to think of work backwards. Like, what is something that is worthy of people talking about? Like opening up a burger shop across the country on one day and then giving away free burgers is something people want to talk about. I think people try to create these hype events, and it's like, why isn't there any PR or press about it? Why isn't anyone talking? I'm like, no one wants to talk about it. So work backwards from what would something be exciting people would talk about, and then you just have to figure out how to make that happen. Like, look at some of the headlines for MrBeast Burger. MrBeast gave away cash and Apple gadgets so people could eat his burgers. Creating something that people are excited to write about. At the end of the day, some people might look at MrBeast like, he's making these videos. It's very easy to dismiss this stuff. If you actually take a step back and look at all the fundamentals that he is applying in his content creation business, he's literally giving you the playbook that you can use as a content creator on any of the topics that you're specifically interested in. You can do these crazy money giveaways in food, in business, in cars, in home repair. He's actually showing you, and there's a lot of really great fundamentals that apply across the board. So big shout out MrBeast and his team. Think about in 10 years how much further he's gonna be. And for yourself, just imagine if you haven't gotten started, if you just start all these things that you've been wanting now, where can you be in 10 years, just like the MrBeast story? If you've liked this video and you wanna watch my breakdown of how MrBeast turned MrBeast Burger into a $9 million fast food business, you are gonna love this video right up here. Definitely make sure you check it out and subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. I love you and I'll see you out there. Pew pew.